So what I want to do for my assessment app, it's one that I wrote about for the discussion, that a couple people I think commented on. It's about actively learn. I have used this in years past, and I've used it a little sparingly now since my district kind of got away from of the license for it. We used to have like a free district-wide license that was pretty cool for this, which gave us full access to the website. Some of the things on it now are not accessible because I'm just using the free version, but it's still a really good tool. Even so, it's a great assessment app, especially if you're having students do readings and stuff like that. It's really good. It allows you to kind of chunk up some things. So if you have like a longer reading that you think your kids aren't gonna be able to keep their attention through the whole time, it's really good at chunking that up, and I'll kind of show you how it does that. I'm not gonna go through all of the steps with um, actively learn. I know this video is supposed to be, concentrated more on how do I know this is a good tool and things like that. And I'll kind of go over the common sense rating and things like that to how you can really figure out, is this a safe tool? Is this something that I can use, fairly confidently with my students and know that they're going to be protected? And it is. And again, I'll show you that later. You don't have to listen to me with that, but I'll show you the common sense rating here in a little bit. So one of the things I wanted to go over though is an article I actually used recently, talking about in my economics class when we were going over to demand, and that's this article right here. So what's really cool about this is you can just import articles from the internet, and it go ahead and it's pretty easy to do. Here, I'll give you kind of a look at what it does. So you import them, and it just takes the article and basically breaks down long readings. It numbers paragraphs and things like that that are really cool. Now, what's awesome with these is you can add directions for students, pre-reading questions, all kinds of different things. I'm going to show you one that I've made. I hope it's still on here. Let's see. In the workspace. Rural America is the new inner city. This is one I did a while ago in an economics class. So I added the pre-reading instructions and a pre-reading question in here. And I've added a few questions throughout here. I want to show you something though that's really cool. And what I mean by it kind of helps the students chunk stuff up. So if you go to a student preview of this, so it goes to your your pre-reading question first, and I can just type in a few things and submit that. I can undo answer, and the teacher can kind of see this stuff, which is kind of cool. As you go, you can kind of see students answering these questions, and you can leave feedback on them. I don't think I'll really be able to show you that tool right now because I don't have students doing it, and I'm just in the student preview. So it kind of breaks those up by question. And then what's really cool, the thing I liked about it the most is it won't let students continue on until they've submitted an answer to a question. So for instance, this is my first like in reading question. And in order for students to kind of answer this question, they would need to read these two paragraphs to figure out, well, what is the question talking about? So it really allows you to essentially force students to slow it down, to really be able to think about things and to really be able to gather their information before they answer a question. I know a lot of times students will skim very quickly. They'll find something that could possibly be related to the question. They'll throw it in there and they'll continue on. And it doesn't really show a deep understanding of what you're trying to get from them. So this is really cool because it won't let them continue on until they do this. Well, it's awesome, and depending on the grade level that you have, you can kind of make that part shorter. So if you have kids that in your class that struggle with reading a lot and being able to retain a lot of that information in order to answer a question, well, this kind of makes it easier because that information's right in front of them. And for this case, they only have a couple paragraphs, very short paragraphs that they have to look at to answer that question. So it's kind of cool just a really cool assessment tool in that regard. And you can do a lot of different things with it. You can add media and all sorts of things that you can do. Again, some of those functions kind of got taken away. My district didn't renew the license to this. We used to have a district-wide license. It was really cool, but the free version is still really, really incredible. I like it a lot. Just for the fact that as students are answering this, you can see what they're typing. You can respond with feedback about their answers and things like that. Just really cool stuff. So I'm going to exit student view here. But you can do all kinds of really fun things with this. I really enjoy using this when I have longer readings. So how do I know this is a safe use? Well, if I check on, Common Sense, which we did with one of our assignments, I actually was unaware of this rating system, which is actually kind of cool. It makes me feel, anyway, as a teacher, a little bit more safe when I'm picking different tools for my students to engage with. So got an 88%, which is a pass. It's got pretty good ratings just from community ratings in general. And again, it kind of gives you a rundown of what you can do with this, kind of what is it? Is it good for learning? It's really good. Just, you can see people's ratings, community ratings from teachers. I really liked it when I tried it. I haven't reviewed it yet, but I thought it was a really good tool to use. So kind of just going through that's kind of actively learn, and just kind of how do I know it's safe sort of thing. And honestly, one of the reasons I know it's safe still is because although my district didn't renew their license for it, they did in the first place, and nothing has changed with it since. One of the big things we use for this assignment, or for figuring out how to use a tool or not, is single sign-on. And Actively Learn has single sign-on. My district also uses a portal. And that portal, I got logged out, but my portal kind of looks something like this. So all of the apps in there that are in there, I know are safe. Actively Learn used to be in there. They didn't, I know for a fact they made an announcement when they got rid of this that they weren't getting rid of it because it wasn't safe. They were just getting rid of it because I think it was maybe getting too expensive for them to continue using. But the free version, they let us know that it's still available for us. So then that's kind of how I know it's safe. And I would really have a hard time believing that there would be any school district that would discourage teachers from using this, just because of how awesome it is for just an instant feedback assessment tool, and just the fact again that it's a super safe tool to use. They're not selling their students information. They're not doing anything with that. It's just a really good tool. I think it's a McGraw-Hill tool. They're a big textbook company. But anyway, that's Actively Learn. I would recommend looking into it more. Again, there is a free version and there's a paid version. The paid version's way better, but the free version is still extremely useful.